So it's not been long since I've started reading Awaken the Giant Within again, and I've already found some kind of a jewel. A simple but strong piece of advice that is supposed to determine the reach of all my efforts. It says that any change begins with raising your standards. And now that I've begun that kind of exercise, I could not agree more on that. It is definitely something that pushes you way more than anything that I've done. And I don't even think that I've done it properly, which is what's more amazing. So let me tell you what I did when I came about this discovery. It was about last week. And so I just got myself a fresh new piece of paper. But at the beginning, there were just minor things, like hygiene. There were some things about the way I looked at women, some little disciplines. And then came a time when I was about to write something big, like big money topics or massive video production topics. And so I just wrote this kind of sign to begin writing. But right then and there, I froze. I just couldn't write. It was paralyzing because inside of me, what was going on was like some inner civil war. There were two sides in combat. I wanted to raise the standard, but on the other side I was afraid that I would not meet it, that I did not want it bad enough. So I just stood there for minutes, not writing a thing. Why am I not writing? What's stopping me? And then from this mental tension I just relaxed for a moment and my imagination started running free. And I thought about this crazy standard rate. What if I had to make $1 million next year? That was so wild. But the thing is that I just became vulnerable. I didn't protect myself from the idea of writing it, and I just imagined, what if I had written this thing so I had to make it happen? It was not voluntarily, it just came through me. So I switched from I can't, there's no fucking way I can do that, to actually saying, now that I have to do it, how can I? And then crazy shit started to happen here. Started thinking about the markets that I could hit, the ones that didn't need much experience, the ones that didn't have to get chosen on, needed no degrees, the ones that didn't take up much time, and the ones that could be scalable. The ones which were not very capital intensive to begin. And actually I just figured out some ways in which I could use the resources that I do have to raise some money for the investing in this method. How I could actually also use part of that money to learn how to use this method. I started thinking about some examples of people that had done it, even in little scale or 20 times bigger. I mean, those references just came to me the moment I decided I had to use them. And they were already there. I didn't look anything up. It was all here. And when my mind was set, my brain somehow provided all the answers to how to start. I was just amazed when I realized what I had created, just by sheer thought. And the change from denial to a question. It was so powerful, completely beyond the expectations that I had for myself. Because it was actually workable. I could do it. I could start it. And my brain was set on solutions mode, because I understood that if I had to make $1 million in 1 year and all I have is about 1,000 euros to invest, I cannot take time to complain. I cannot let my excuses stop me. And that all just came so natural when I just let myself say, okay, I have to do it. How do I do it? Now, because of the plans that I had, I didn't actually write it on the list and didn't get to raise that standard. But I got to raise one that I was even more afraid of. The video standard, the video production standard. It may not feel like it, but I tend to be very afraid to recording these videos. All I think is that they're gonna go terribly wrong for some reason. I guess what I'm most afraid of is to find out that I'm delusional and I have no talent for this. So for the last 2 weeks or so, I've been recording 4 videos a day for a course that I'm making on teaching Chinese in Spanish. Then 2 short videos in Spanish about Chinese learning. And on top of that, these videos in English. Now these are the hardest to make, because sometimes you just don't know what to say. Even today, just planning to do this has been a heck of a lot of trouble. I got this feeling of anxiety, but as the time to go to bed comes closer, I get my camera and start recording, because there's no other alternative. When you set your goals, you're kind of writing a wish list for someday. Now when you're raising your standard, you're taking the minimum and putting it here. So every day, beginning today, you will not do anything less than your goal. Can you imagine the difference between wanting to do your goal someday in the future to absolutely being committed to not doing anything less than your goal today? That's fucking wild. That's a fucking wild difference. And it truly works. I had spent 20 days without recording a single video, because I was afraid of messing it up. But now I've done a lot of them. I've been able to tap into resources that I kinda knew I had, but I wouldn't let out, because I was afraid. but this wild raising of my standards has been able to suffocate this fear in the face of necessity. This is the last video of the day, but tomorrow is the same battle. Developing these skills through facing my fear, which is looking in your eye and just talking shit, really. Because a fucking crazy thing happens when you change from I'd love to do it to I fucking have to do it. You know, raising your standards is really saying I will not tolerate anything less than doing what I fucking know I want to do now. And that works like fucking wild magic. Maybe we're not the lazy shit I think we are. I think we're actually really much more. And that wanting really does not make us do shit. Whereas having to really changes the game. And there's no fairy shit. I'm living it. I'm producing this shit. Editing. I know that's like very average here in YouTube, but I've never done anything like that. And I was honestly quite afraid of doing it. But the thing is that none of it mattered. None of the limitations nor excuses mattered when I had to fucking do it. And that's an awesome finding from the book. But it's my experience that teaches me, not so much the book. The book is the key, but I am the one who has to open the door. And yeah, about that, I don't want to waste your time. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video with more updates on this book. Bye bye.